Toyota has been the king of automotive reliability for 30 years. Every reliability survey, every Consumer Reports ranking, every long-term ownership study, Toyota has been at or near the top of the list consistently for 3 decades. That is not marketing. That is documented historical fact. But in 2026, Mazda just changed the math. Mazda announced a new engine called Skyactiv-Z, scheduled to debut in the next-generation Mazda CX-5 in 2027. And what Mazda is doing with this engine challenges the fundamental assumptions that Toyota built its entire hybrid empire on. Mazda is betting that you can achieve hybrid-level fuel efficiency without the hybrid-level complexity, without the large battery pack, without the expensive electric motors, without the eventual hybrid battery replacement that hits Toyota owners somewhere between year 10 and year 15 of ownership. For senior buyers, this is the most important question in the automotive market today. Because if you are 60 years old and you are buying a vehicle you plan to keep until you are 75, you are not making a 3-year purchase, you are making a 15-year commitment. And in those 15 years, the hybrid battery in your Toyota will need to be replaced. According to Toyota's own documentation and independent shops like GreenTech Auto, a new Toyota RAV4 hybrid battery pack costs between $3,000 and $8,000 to replace. Refurbished packs run $1,500 to $3,500. That is real money that hits your retirement budget right at the moment you are least prepared for it. Today we are not looking at fuel economy for the first 3 years. Magazines do that, reviewers do that, salespeople do that. We are looking at who survives the next 200,000 miles, who survives the 15-year ownership window, who survives without forcing you to write a check for a battery replacement when you are 75 years old. Today I am comparing the Toyota Dynamic Force engine inside the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid 2026, which has been refined since 2017 across millions of vehicles, against the brand new Mazda Skyactiv-Z engine arriving in the next-generation Mazda CX-5 in 2027. I am using verified specifications from Mazda's own engineering presentations, from Toyota's published technical data, and from independent reliability analyses from Consumer Reports and IS.
E-cars, no opinions, no speculation, only documented engineering facts that affect your 15-year ownership cost. Stay with me, because at minute 12, I am going to show you the specific year when most hybrid SUVs hit what I call the 100,000-mile wall, and what happens to your wallet when they do. The data may genuinely surprise you. Let us begin.
To understand who survives 15 years, you have to understand how each engine is engineered. Because Toyota and Mazda are answering the same question with completely different philosophies. And the philosophy you choose determines the kind of ownership experience you will have for the next decade and a half. Let me start with Toyota's Dynamic Force engine. The current Toyota RAV4 Hybrid 2026 uses a 2.5-litre, 4-cylinder Dynamic Force engine. The hybrid version operates at a 14:1 compression ratio. According to Toyota's published technical specifications and confirmed by Wikipedia's engineering documentation, this engine achieves 41% thermal efficiency in hybrid configuration. To put that in perspective for senior buyers who appreciate technical context, the average modern gasoline engine achieves about 35% thermal efficiency. A Nissan engineering study cited by automotive publication Top Speed noted that it took the entire industry roughly 30 years to advance from 30% thermal efficiency to 40%. Toyota crossed the 40% threshold with the Dynamic Force engine in 2017, and the hybrid version exceeded 41%. The Dynamic Force engine uses dual injection, both port fuel injection and direct injection. Port injection sprays fuel into the intake manifold, where it washes over the intake valves and keeps them clean. Direct injection sprays fuel directly into the combustion chamber for precise atomization and combustion control. The dual system gives Toyota the efficiency benefits of direct injection without the carbon buildup problems that plague pure direct injection engines. This is engineering wisdom that comes from experience. Toyota saw the carbon problems competitors were having and engineered a solution into the Dynamic Force. Now Mazda's philosophy is fundamentally different. The Mazda Skyactiv-Z engine, debuting in the 2027 next-generation Mazda CX-5, also uses a 2.5-litre 4-cylinder configuration. But the engineering target is what Mazda calls Lambda 1 combustion. Let me translate that into language that matters. Lambda is the air-to-fuel ratio coefficient. When lambda equals exactly 1.0, the amount of air present during combustion is in perfect chemical balance with the amount of fuel. That perfect balance is called the stoichiometric ratio. At lambda 1, you achieve theoretically complete combustion. Every molecule of fuel burns, no fuel is wasted, no unburned hydrocarbons exit through the exhaust. The Skyactiv-Z is engineered to achieve lambda 1 combustion across the entire RPM range, from low engine speeds where most engines run rich, to high engine speeds where most engines run lean. Mazda's claim, published in their official engineering documents at mazda.com/Mazda Mirai Base, is that the Skyactiv-Z will deliver thermal efficiency that exceeds both the current Skyactiv-G and Skyactiv-X engines while meeting the strictest Euro 7 and LEV4 emission regulations. The engine also incorporates new heat insulation technology that converts heat normally lost through the cylinder walls into additional power, further improving efficiency. Here is why this matters for senior buyers. Mazda's philosophy is mechanical simplicity. Achieve efficiency through better combustion engineering, not through adding electric motors and large battery packs that eventually need replacement. Mazda is not abandoning hybridization. The CX-5 with Skyactiv-Z will be Mazda's first in-house hybrid system, replacing the Toyota-sourced hybrid system that currently powers the CX-50. But Mazda's approach uses a smaller battery and lighter electric components because the combustion engine is doing more of the efficiency work itself. Simplicity equals fewer parts. Fewer parts equal fewer things that can break. Fewer things that can break equals lower repair costs over 15 years. That is the engineering philosophy that wins the senior audience. Now let me show you the 3 specific things that kill engines after 100,000 miles. Because the differences between the Toyota Dynamic Force and the Mazda Skyactiv-Z become genuinely important when you look at what fails over 15 years of ownership. Longevity killer number 1, carbon buildup. Modern direct injection engines, which spray fuel directly into the combustion chamber, do not allow fuel to wash over the intake valves. Over 50 to 70,000 miles, carbon deposits accumulate on the valve stems and the backside of the intake valves. The buildup restricts airflow into the cylinder. The result is rough idle, reduced fuel economy, misfires, and eventually a check engine light. The repair, called a walnut shell blasting service, runs $500 to $1,000 at most independent shops, more at the dealer. Toyota engineered around this problem with the Dynamic Force engine by adding port injection alongside direct injection. The port injection sprays fuel that washes over the intake valves and keeps them clean. This is documented engineering, not marketing speculation. The Mazda Skyactiv-Z's carbon management strategy has not been fully published yet, but Mazda has historical experience with Skyactiv-G port injection design and has indicated that the Skyactiv-Z incorporates lessons from that previous architecture. Both engines should handle carbon buildup better than competing direct injection-only systems, but Toyota has 8 years of documented field data proving it works. Mazda has not yet released the Skyactiv-Z to consumers. Longevity killer number 2, the transmission. The Toyota RAV4 Hybrid 2026 uses Toyota's eCVT, the electronic continuously variable transmission built around a planetary gear set. According to Toyota's service documentation and verified by automotive engineering analyses, the eCVT has no clutch packs, no belts, no friction elements that wear under load. The planetary gears mesh permanently and spin in mathematical relationship to each other. This is the same fundamental transmission architecture Toyota has been building since the original Prius launched in 1997. 28 years of field experience, millions of vehicles. According to IC Car's longevity analysis, the RAV4 has a 14.4-year average lifespan and covers an average of 173,295 miles without major reliability issues. The next-generation Mazda CX-5 with Skyactiv-Z will use Mazda's newly developed in-house hybrid transmission. We do not yet know whether it will use a planetary gear set similar to Toyota's, a traditional automatic with electric motor integration, or a different architecture entirely. Mazda has indicated the transmission has been developed alongside the Skyactiv-Z engine specifically to optimize the powertrain as a complete system. But the long-term reliability data simply does not exist yet because the vehicle has not yet been sold to consumers. Longevity killer number 3, the hybrid battery. This is where senior buyers need to pay closest attention because it is the single largest unexpected expense in long-term hybrid ownership. According to multiple verified sources, including GreenTech Auto, Santa Cruz Toyota's official service documentation, and How to Geek's ownership analysis, a Toyota RAV4 hybrid battery replacement costs $3,000 to $8,000 for a new pack and $1,500 to $3,500 for a refurbished pack. Toyota warrants the battery for 10 years or 150,000 miles with their enhanced hybrid battery warranty, which is the most generous coverage in the industry, but that warranty eventually expires. According to real-world owner data referenced by automotive ownership analyses, hybrid batteries typically last 10 to 15 years or 100,000 to 150,000 miles. Many owners hit 200,000 miles on the original battery, but many also need a replacement somewhere in the 12 to 15-year window, exactly when seniors are entering or deep into retirement. The Mazda Skyactiv-Z hybrid will use a smaller battery than Toyota's full hybrid system. According to Mazda's published strategy, the Skyactiv-Z is doing more of the combustion efficiency work itself, which reduces the electric motor's workload and allows for a smaller battery pack. A smaller battery costs less to manufacture and, importantly, less to replace when the time comes. Mazda has not yet published replacement cost estimates, but smaller batteries with simpler chemistry typically cost significantly less than full hybrid battery packs. Let me show you the specific year that determines whether your hybrid SUV becomes a long-term success or a long-term regret. I call it the 100,000-mile wall, and it is the moment when warranty coverage ends and reality begins. Year 1 through 3, everything works. Warranty covers everything. Maintenance costs are minimal. Your fuel economy matches the EPA estimates. Your dealer experience is positive because the dealer is incentivized to keep you happy during the lease consideration period. This is what magazines review. This is what salespeople sell. Year 4 through 6. The bumper-to-bumper warranty has expired at 36 months on Toyota. The powertrain warranty has expired at 60 months. The vehicle is now your financial responsibility. Most owners experience nothing significant during this period. The dynamic force engine is still inside its proven reliability window. Maintenance costs remain low, averaging about $400 per year, based on CarEdge data, showing the RAV4 costs approximately $6,005 in maintenance and repairs across the first 10 years of service. Year 7 through 10. This is where the differences between engineering philosophies start to show. For the Toyota Dynamic Force, you may start seeing minor age-related issues. Valve cover gaskets and oil pan seals are the most commonly mentioned wear items on higher mileage RAV4s, according to Car Guru's analysis, though these are inexpensive repairs, typically under $200 each. For the Skyactiv-Z, we will not have Year 7 data until 2034 because the engine debuts in late 2027. Year 10 through 15. The 100,000-mile wall. This is where the rubber meets the road, or more specifically, where the hybrid battery meets the end of its warranty. Toyota's enhanced battery warranty expires at 10 years or 150,000 miles. Beyond that, you are on your own. According to real owner data from forums and the Toyota Nation community, some RAV4 hybrids reach 200,000 miles on the original battery, but a significant percentage need a replacement somewhere between 120,000 and 150,000 miles. At $3,000 to $8,000 for a new battery, this is the largest single repair bill most hybrid owners will face. Here is the question I need you to answer for yourself. Are you planning to keep your next SUV for more than 10 years? Drop your answer in the comments, because that changes everything about which vehicle is the right purchase for you. If your answer is yes, if you are buying a vehicle for the next 15 years of your retirement, the hybrid battery cost is no longer theoretical. It is a real expense you will face. And the Mazda Skyactiv-Z's smaller battery, by design, will cost less to replace when the time comes. If your answer is no, if you trade vehicles every 4 to 6 years, the hybrid battery question never affects you. The original owner sells before the battery becomes a concern, and the depreciation curve already reflects the future battery cost. Toyota's superior resale value retaining over 53% at 5 years according to Kelley Blue Book, more than compensates for the eventual battery liability. This is why the same vehicle can be the right answer for one buyer and the wrong answer for another. The vehicle did not change, the ownership window changed. And senior buyers who plan to keep their vehicles into retirement need to think about this differently than the magazine reviewers who turn over their press vehicles after 1 week of testing. Let me give you the specific dollar figures so you can run your own math at home with verified data from independent sources. The Toyota RAV4 Hybrid 2026, according to CarEdge's published ownership analysis, costs approximately $6,005 in maintenance and repairs across the first 10 years of service. According to Edmunds' 5-year cost of ownership analysis, the RAV4 Hybrid LE costs $45,506 over 5 years and 60,000 miles. That breaks down to $5,672 for maintenance, $887 for repairs, $11,709 for depreciation, and $9,464 for fuel. Specific maintenance items that come up during the 15-year window include the water pump, which typically lasts the life of the vehicle on Toyota hybrid systems, but can run $600 to $1,000 to replace if needed. Various sensors like oxygen sensors, mass airflow sensors, and the camshaft position sensor cost $200 to $500 each when they fail. The cooling system, including the hybrid inverter coolant pump and the engine coolant pump, are integrated into the hybrid system on Toyota and typically last over 150,000 miles before any service is required. For the Mazda Skyactiv-Z, the actual maintenance cost data does not exist yet because the vehicle has not been sold to consumers, but we can extrapolate from current Mazda CX-5 ownership data. According to multiple ownership analyses, the current Mazda CX-5 costs approximately $7,500 in maintenance and repairs across the first 10 years of service. Slightly higher than the Toyota RAV4, but in the same general range. Now let me give you the honest Mazda risk that responsible automotive analysis requires me to mention. The Skyactiv-Z is a brand new engine. Year one of any new technology carries risk. First-year redesigns historically show worse reliability than carryover models. According to Consumer Reports data, first year of new platform vehicles have higher problem rates than their carryover competitors. The Toyota Dynamic Force engine has 8 years of field data across millions of vehicles. The Skyactiv-Z will have 0 days of field data when it launches in late 2027. However, the Mazda design is fundamentally simpler than Toyota's. A naturally aspirated combustion engine focused on combustion efficiency paired with a small hybrid system. Fewer components than Toyota's full hybrid system, fewer software integration points, fewer thermal management challenges because the smaller battery generates less heat. For senior buyers, here is the trade-off in clear language. The Toyota RAV4 Hybrid 2026 is the proven choice, with 8 years of documented reliability and a 15-year ownership cost that is well understood. The Mazda Skyactiv-Z X5 in 2027 is the lower complexity choice, with the potential for lower long-term repair costs, but with the inherent risk of any first-year platform. If you are buying right now, in 2026, the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid is the answer. If you can wait until late 2027 or 2028 to let Mazda work out the early bugs of the Skyactiv-Z platform, the next-generation Mazda CX-5 may be the better long-term financial decision for your retirement. Now let me give you my honest verdict based on 22 years of working on vehicles, on verified data from Consumer Reports, on documented technical specifications from Toyota and Mazda, and on the real-world ownership experiences I have seen across thousands of customer vehicles. Who should buy the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid 2026? The buyer I call the appliance owner. The person who wants the vehicle to start every morning, drive without drama, deliver predictable fuel economy, and require nothing beyond routine maintenance for the next decade. The Toyota does this. Consumer Reports rates the 2026 RAV4 at 86 out of 100 for predicted reliability. IC Cars data shows a 14.4-year average lifespan, covering 173,000 miles. The Dynamic Force engine has 8 years of proven field performance. The hybrid system has 28 years of proven planetary gear architecture. The dealer network has over 1,500 locations in America for service support that will exist for decades into your retirement. For the senior buyer who values certainty above all else, who plans to drive this vehicle until they reach an age where they may eventually stop driving entirely, the RAV4 Hybrid 2026 is the right answer. Yes, you will likely face a hybrid battery replacement somewhere between year 10 and year 15. That repair will cost $3,000 to $8,000. That is not hidden. That is documented. You can budget for it, you can plan for it, and it is the only major expense you are likely to face that the warranty does not cover. Who should buy the next generation Mazda CX-5 with Skyactiv-Z? The buyer I call the driver, the person who appreciates engineering elegance, who values a vehicle that feels alive and engaged rather than appliance-like, who prefers a premium interior with physical controls and a driving position that has been calibrated for the experience rather than commodified for the masses. The Skyactiv-Z philosophy of achieving efficiency through pure combustion engineering, supplemented by a smaller and simpler hybrid system, appeals to buyers who understand the value of mechanical simplicity. However, this buyer must be willing to wait until 2027 or 2028 for the vehicle to launch. They must be willing to accept the inherent risk of first-year platform technology. And they must be willing to accept that Mazda's dealer network, while growing, is significantly smaller than Toyota's, which can affect service convenience in some American markets. For the senior buyer who prioritizes driving engagement and is willing to accept some first-year risk in exchange for potentially lower long-term ownership costs, the next generation CX-5 with Skyactiv-Z is the right consideration. But it is not available for purchase right now. So the practical decision for 2026 is either to buy the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid 2026 immediately, or to wait 15 to 18 months for the Skyactiv-Z launch. There is also a third option I need to mention, because it serves senior buyers who want Mazda's philosophy today without waiting. The current Mazda CX-50 uses Toyota-sourced hybrid technology paired with Mazda's interior and chassis engineering. You get Toyota's proven reliability inside Mazda's superior cabin. The current Mazda CX-5 with the naturally aspirated Skyactiv-G engine is also a credible option. It does not offer hybrid efficiency, but it offers the simplicity, the proven Skyactiv platform reliability, and the premium interior at a price point that often beats the RAV4 by $3,000 to $5,000 before dealer markups are added. The final warning: do not sign any check, do not commit to any purchase until you have reviewed the specific market adjustments your local dealers are currently charging on the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid 2026. According to CarEdge data, market adjustments of $3,000 to $7,000 above the manufacturer's suggested retail price are common on this vehicle in 2026. That markup eliminates much of the long-term ownership advantage Toyota has earned. The same vehicle without the markup is a sound financial decision. The same vehicle with a $7,000 dealer markup may be a financial mistake. Here is the Motornox recommendation in plain language for senior buyers making their 15-year decision in 2026. If you need a vehicle this year and you want maximum reliability over the next 15 years with no waiting, buy the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid 2026, only if you can purchase it at or below the manufacturer's suggested retail price. Reject any dealer markup. Email multiple Toyota dealers within a 100-mile radius. Request out-the-door price quotes by email rather than in person. Bring your trade-in appraised at CarMax before you negotiate. And never discuss monthly payments in the dealership, because that conversation only benefits the dealer. If you are willing to wait 15 to 18 months and you value the Mazda engineering philosophy of mechanical simplicity, consider holding your purchase until the next generation Mazda CX-5 with Skyactiv-Z launches in late 2027. Watch the first-year owner reviews carefully. If the first 6 months of ownership data shows the platform is performing as Mazda has promised, the Skyactiv-Z CX-5 may be the best long-term value in the segment. If you cannot wait and you want Mazda philosophy at today's price, the current Mazda CX-50 with the Toyota-sourced hybrid system gives you Toyota reliability in a Mazda body. It is the safest Mazda hybrid purchase you can make in 2026 because the powertrain is proven Toyota technology. I made this channel because I have spent 22 years watching older drivers get pushed into the wrong vehicles by salespeople who do not understand the difference between selling a car and serving a customer for the next 15 years. The math I just walked you through is not opinion. It is documented data from Consumer Reports, From Toyota's own engineering presentations, from Mazda's published technical specifications, from IC Cars' longevity analyses, from Car Edge ownership cost calculations, and from independent automotive engineering journalists who have nothing to gain from telling you the truth. If this video helped you understand the 15-year decision you are about to make, share it with one friend over 55 who is currently shopping for a hybrid SUV. They need this information before they walk into a dealership this weekend. And tell me in the comments, are you planning to buy now and accept the proven Toyota platform? Or are you willing to wait for the Mazda Skyactiv-Z to prove itself? Your answer helps me build better videos for this community. There is no aggressive subscribe pitch coming, just my honest thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.